be doing a review on two recent Tarte products that I have picked up. The Tarte Colored Clay CC Primer, as well as the Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Airbrush Foundation. So I was going to do two separate videos, but instead of that, I will just timestamp down below so that if you are interested in one or the other, then you sort of know where to start watching. But before I get started, I do want to say that no, I did not move. I am just filming in my bedroom, which is why you see this lavender wall. But last time I filmed in this space, somebody asked me that question. So I just wanted to address that because I know someone is going to ask. Okay. Oh, that was my phone. Okay, so I'll first talk a little bit about the CC primer. So this is what it looks like. It comes in this sort of packaging. It's just plastic. So you screw it up and it comes out that way. And as you can see, there are a variety of colors on this. I'm in the shade tan. That's the one that I picked up. And there is a little green part. Then there's the tan colored primer, as well as the lavender colored primer. So here are the claims. Brightens appearance of skin, evens skin tone, blurs the look of imperfections, helps neutralize the appearance of redness and discoloration. It says you can buff your way to complexion perfection with this revolutionary correcting primer. Infused with color correcting Amazonian colored clay, this multitasking primer easily blends into skin for an even all over airbrushed finish. So I've been using it now for the past 2.5 weeks or so and on a pretty regular basis. How I like to apply this is I just take it straight from the bullet and I buff it into my skin in circular motions, and I use my fingers to spread it out. I find that the warmth of my fingers helps it go on a little bit more evenly and a little smoothly as opposed to a brush. I've tried it with several different brushes. I've tried it with foundation brushes, stippling brushes, and my fingers just seem to do the trick a little bit better. So if you do not like applying things on your face with your fingers, especially when it's like a colored makeup, then this may not be for you. What I find with this primer is I do not like to wear it with powder foundation. So I got these thinking that I would be able to use them together, and I don't really like the feeling of using them together. I have sort of normal to dry skin, and my skin has been a little drier than normal because of this polar vortex and the cold air that's been blowing through South Florida. So I have liked using this with liquid foundations instead. I just find that it works a little bit better for me that way. My face doesn't feel dry or like it's cakey almost when you wear it with powder. So I like it with a liquid foundation. It doesn't necessarily make my foundation last any longer than any other primer. I think it does its job in terms of the long wearing effect, but I don't think it does anything overboard. Does it blur imperfections? Yes, you can definitely tell that your skin is a little bit smoother. It gives you an even canvas to work with when applying the foundation on top. Now they say that you can use the primer alone or with foundation. I don't really like wearing it alone for the same exact reason. I just sort of feel like it makes my skin feel a little bit dry, and it could be the clay because clay is detoxifying. It tends to draw out impurities, draw out oils, and sometimes clay can be a little bit drying on the skin, at least for me. So when I do wear it alone, I did try it once with a dewy finish setting spray by NYX, and that worked out fine, but I just really prefer to wear it with a good liquid foundation. That's how I sort of like to wear it. I don't have a ton of redness on my skin, so I can't speak into whether the colors, the green and the lavender, counterbalance any redness or sallowness of skin. But I can say that when applied, it does sort of give a nice even complexion after you've applied it on your skin. So I do like it for that effect. I will keep the product because I think that there are benefits to it, and there are definitely times where I'm not going to feel like wearing, a lot of makeup on my face, and this with a really light hand of foundation works really well for coverage for me. So I can definitely see myself using this more in the summertime when the air is a little bit more humid and I won't have such dryness of my skin. I think that it'll work really, really well for then. But if you're curious in trying out this primer, it does come in several different colors. And I think that the color range that they have can actually hit on a lot of different skin tones because you sort of blend it in really nicely. And with the purple and with the green, it's sort of all of that combined. I think that it can cater to a wide variety of skin tones. So go into Ulta if you're curious and just try it out. I actually tried it out on the back of my hand and saw that it worked really well there, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick it up. I think it retails for somewhere between $32 and $34 or $35 for a half of an ounce. I think it's half an ounce. For 0.51 ounces. And so it is kind of expensive, but at the same time, you don't really use a ton of it. So I can definitely see myself using this for quite a while. Okay, now for the foundation. I love this stuff. I'm in the color Tan Sand, which is for tan skin with yellow undertones. So what I really like about the Tarte brand is, one, they're cruelty-free, but two, the way that they cater to different skin tones, because they also take in consideration people's undertone. And a lot of times when you're looking for foundations, they will lean very yellow or very pinky red, especially the deeper you go. Most of the time, I would probably say 90% of the time, I have found that they lean on the red side. Like, I can't use any of the Urban Decay foundations because they're just very pink red. Bare Minerals, can't use it. So I've been looking for a powder foundation for a really, really long time, and I just have not been able to find one. I tried Kat Von D, I've tried so many different ones, and I've ended up having to take them back to Sephora and Ulta because they just do not work on my skin. Like, it looks like it does, and in the store it looks like it does, but then I try it on at home and I go out into the sunlight and I just look really, really red, and compared to like my neck, it just makes me look really strange. So I would always have to take it back in search of another one. I was looking for a pressed foundation, like a pressed powder foundation, and I did not find one, so I was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and try the Tarte one. So the packaging looks like this, which is super cute. It's sort of like natural. I don't think this is real wood. It's plastic, but it's made to look like wood. And even though this is a loose powder foundation, when you open it up, you don't have all the spillage of the powder because there's this little top right here that when you close it, it keeps all the foundation underneath this amazing little screen protector kind of thing inside of the foundation. So what you do is you take your brush, you dip it in there, and then a little bit of the powder comes out. You can swirl it along the sides or just tap off the excess and then buff it into the skin. They recommend that you use this powder foundation with their brush. The brush that the brush that you can get is the Airbrush Bamboo Powder Foundation brush. Now, I don't have the Airbrush, and I have a ton of brushes, and I was like, certainly I can figure out a brush that is going to work well with this. I think, though, that the Airbrush Bamboo Powder Foundation brush might not be synthetic. Most of my brushes, aside from a few eye brushes and blush brushes, are synthetic, and I was having a really difficult time finding a brush that would work well with this, just because synthetic brushes often don't pick up this sort of product. It's really, really finely milled, like super duper fine. When you apply it on the skin, it feels so silky, so smooth. Smoother than something like Bare Minerals. It's so smooth. I absolutely love it. I first tried it with a kabuki brush. This is a synthetic kabuki brush. This did not work. It did apply onto my skin, but I just couldn't get that airbrushed effect using it, so I didn't use that. Then I tried it with a flat top type of kabuki. This is an e.l.f. one. This didn't work either. Then I tried it with this brush. This is by Real Techniques, and this is a buffing brush because, you know, buffing brush is meant to sort of buff it into the skin. That didn't work. Finally, I was starting to get down to the end of my rope, and I was like, okay, you know what, I might just have to go ahead and purchase this Airbrush because I can't find anything to work. I love the product, just can't find a brush. So I was like, you know what, last resort, I'm gonna use my big, huge, fluffy powder brush. And I didn't want to use this initially because look how big it is. It's like huge, and like trying to put it in and then swirl, it just seemed like it would be too big. But this actually applies it the best. I don't know, I think it's just because of the way that the brush is manufactured. Like at the tip, it's like it is synthetic. This is the powder brush by Real Techniques. It is synthetic, but I think because it's really dense and just the way that the fibers are at the very end, that you can dip it in there and then swirl it and then apply it, and it goes on like a dream. I love this stuff. So this is what it looks like when it comes on. I just tap off the excess and then I buff it into my skin this way. I love this powder. It's super awesome. I find that it stays on my face all day, which I was really concerned about when I was looking for a powder foundation. I didn't want to have something that I was going to have to retouch all the time, and this works perfect for me. Again, I love the consistency and I love the color, and they have a pretty wide range of colors with different skin tones. So especially if you're like a deeper complexion like tan and beyond, they might have something that would work best for your skin tone, which is really, really hard if you have like a yellow undertone. So thank you, Tarte. I really appreciate that. What I am interested in seeing though is how once like the powder goes down, like once there's not a ton left, like how it's gonna work with the screen that's on the top. Will I have to tilt it will I have to tip it over to get the product out? So I am interested in seeing how that's gonna work, but for the most part, love this product. Will definitely be repurchasing it. It's the only powder foundation that I've ever found that works well with my skin tone. I think it retails for $34. You can get it from tons of different places. I will have a link down below for where you can purchase this online. I would definitely say that this is a medium coverage foundation, maybe buildable to like a medium full, but I'm not exactly sure. What I normally do to cover up certain spots, like I have a blemish right here, is I will just apply a little bit of the foundation on it, like directly on it with my finger, and then I'll just buff it in with a brush, and it does a pretty good job of covering it up, as you can see. So I do think that it covers really, really well. You just might have to spot conceal with it if you're trying to cover up a lot of scarring or blemishes. Can't wait to use this in the summertime because I do feel like the clay helps to mattify a little bit. But yeah, my favorite way to use this is to apply a nice luminizing BB cream underneath and then apply this on top, and then it works like a dream. Love it. But again, because it's powder, make sure that if you're using a liquid type of concealer that you are concealing before you apply the powder, because you don't want to apply the concealer on top of the powder, if that makes any sense. But this works amazing. I've actually also used it with some of my liquid foundations, and it works great as a setting powder too. It's like double duty. I love this stuff. So yeah, if anybody was interested in purchasing those products, I will have links down below for where you can get them. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I think I covered everything that I wanted to. If there's anything else, then all the other information will be down below as well. I hope you guys are having a really great day, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.
For more tips, visit www.dazzlediaries.com.